So how to create this effect, these rays of light that are going inside our interior. So first we are going to recreate this interior, so this, and then we are going to put the lights here. So I'm going to do a new file. First we need to create the room. So we select the cube, S to scale, Shift Z to scale on X and Y, like this. We can put it a little bit taller, SZ, like this. We can do N to open this little menu, and here we can see the dimensions. So on Z I can put 3 meters tall, like this. Then we can scale on Y, SY, so it's very long, like this. Then what we need to do is to add a camera here to see inside the room. So Shift A and camera here. We can do Z to change the view in wireframe to see the camera here. Numpad 7 to go on top. And the camera is here, the rotation at 90 here, 0 and 0, so it is straight like this. Numpad 0 to go inside, and my camera is here, X I have 2, so the camera and the cube here. So now our camera here, we are going to change object data properties to change the focal length. It is at 50, we want to put less so we can see all of the interior. We're going to put at 20, like this. Now we can go back in a solid view and it looks like this. Now we are going to put the columns on the sides. So Shift A, Mesh and Cylinder. It is here. S scale Z to make it taller, like this. And we can go Numpad 7 and we can go in wireframe. We can put our column G on the side like this, S Shift Z to make it bigger like this, but not on Z, and it's going to look here. If you want to change the camera dimensions, you can go in output properties, resolution, and I'm going to put 1080 by 1920, so it looks like this. And now we want more columns here. I can put it a little bit smaller, like this. So we are going to put the array modifier. First we need to apply the scale of this column. If we do N, we can see the scale, because we scaled our cylinder, is not at 1. So we can do object apply scale on the cylinder. Now it is at 1. So we can go on top Numpad 7 and then in the modifier properties add modifier array. Now we want more on Y, like this, and another one here. So first we can put the other one here, then we can array again to make them like this. So factor X, we can put it on the other side, so -1, for example, like this. Put a little more, like this. You can see we can change a G. This one, put it more on the side like this, so we can put it here, and then the factor X, put more like this, like this, and then we can duplicate this. So we click here, duplicate, to have another array. This, the first one, we can close, and this one we are going to change factor X, we put 0, and Y, we need Y, so we put here at, for example, 2, and counts, we are going to put more, this like this, for example 4, and my scene is gonna look like this. I can go back in solid, maybe we can put this like this, and GX move this, for example, like this. We can go on top, it looks good. So now we are going to put the little pool effect here. So we click on the cube, tab to go in edit mode, and then we are going to put 2 lines here. So how to do this? We do Control R to have this line, one line here, we click and then escape. We have this line selected. Still, Control B to do a bevel. We can do a bevel like this, and then we go in face select. We click on this face, and then E to extrude, and Z. Put it down like this. Here we can see. And then on top, I want little windows. So I'm going to Control R to put another loop cut here. I want more, so I'm going to scroll with my mouse. For example, like this, escape. And then what I want to do, Control B to bevel and put 2, like this, for example. And then I can do face select and select the faces I want for my windows here. I want this. X to delete faces. And now we need to add a thickness, because here there is no thickness. So we select the cube first, and the scale, we change the scale, so we need to apply the scale. So object apply scale, and now we can add a modifier in the modifier properties, a solidify, and now it's gonna add thickness. Thickness can change like this, for example, even thickness. And now to add the water, first we are going to click on the cylinder, right click, shade auto smooth, so it is smooth. Now to add the water here, shift A, mesh plane, GZ, the plane we are going to put it here where the water is going to be, add modifier, and we put the ocean modifier, and now it is creating a big ocean here. So S, we can put it smaller, the size of our room here. We can move it GY here to have all of the room, and then we can repeat here on Y 3 times, so it is all of the room. And now we need to change, because you see the waves are very, very big. So we go on spectrum, we put shallow water. Now the waves are a little smaller, and we are going to adjust. First, depth. It is not really deep, so we can put, for example, 1 meter or a little bit less, like this. And then put like this, like 0.8. The waves here waves, scale, you can put less, like this, and then the resolution, you can put more to have a better quality at 11 in viewport and render. So now it looks like this. You can put the scale a little less, 0.18, like this. And after the ocean, what I like to do is to put a subdivision surface modifier. So it looks like this. You can put it GZ here. So now it looks like this. Now for the materials. First we are going to go in material preview to see the materials. So there are no materials. First, before doing the materials, we are going to save. So file, save. Poolroom 1. So now for the materials, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the shading tab, and then add a new material for the cylinder, new, and put a material, a texture I have downloaded in on, I think it was a Polyhaven or something like this. You have all of the website to download the texture in the link to access all of my resources. So first, edit preference. You have to make sure that you have the Node Wrangler add-on here, enable. We click on the principal BSDF, Shift Ctrl T. Then I'm going to put the tiles that I have downloaded, this one. I'm going to do A to select everything, and I don't want the displacement because I don't like the effect of this. So I'm going to just take everything except the displacement. Principal texture setup. Then everything is here, and you can see the tiles are here. So I can go in the scale and I can click and go down to put more, so the tiles are smaller. I'm going to put 8 for example, so the tiles are like this, 6 like this. Then I can go on the room, the cube, click browse material, and I can already take the material, the tiles, and it is exactly the same. And now to scale them, if I scale it here, it's going to change the cylinder because it is linked. So I need to go to click on the little 2 here, so it is 2 different materials. So the cube of the room I can change at like 10 here, and first you see on the side and here it is really weird because we scaled it. So what we need to do, tab to go in edit mode, A to select everything, and then we can do U to unwrap Smart UV project. We click here, we do OK, and now it's going to be OK. Here you see it's not stretched, so I can put a little bit less like this, so the tiles are smaller at 15 for example, approximately the same as the tiles on the cylinder, so I can put them a little bit smaller, for example at 23. And then for the water we can create a new material, new, and then we can put base color a little blue material like this, and then roughness at 0, and transmission at 1, IOR, the refraction, 1.333. And now that's done, we only need to put the sun and the exterior to have the lights. First, maybe I'm going to move my camera to be on the side. So we click on the camera, location, I can move this, and then rotation on Z, I can move like this. GZ I can be, for example, here. It looks good. Like this. So for the sun, the exterior first, Shift A, I'm going to put a sun. So light, sun, GZ to put it outside here. We have the sun here. When we go in rendered view, it looks like this. Oh, I had to re-record again because OBS crashed. That's why I rarely use OBS, but I wanted to try, but I would not use it again. So you have the sun here. We put the sun and rendered preview here. It looks like this. So we click in the sun, click on the sun, and then strength. We can put more to have more light here. And now what we need to do, you can also put shadow caustics here if you want to add caustics to your water. So we click on the sun, shadow caustics, we click on the water, and then in object properties, in shading, you can put caustics. You can put receive shadow caustics here. And now what we can do is we can rotate the sun. We click on the sun and then rotation X like this, rotation Y like this on the side. Looks good like this. And then to create the little rays of lights of sun, we need to add a volume. So we go in solid, we need to add little dust, little smoked effect, so the lights can be seen in the interior. So Shift A, mesh cube. We are going to add a cube all around our room. So we put it the same size, but not the same size, bigger, like this. S, we scale it, so it is all around our scene, our interior. Have this, we can go in material preview. It's just, or in rendered, it is just a cube. So we need to add a volume to create a little smoke, a little dust effect around everything. So we go in material properties, we create a new material for this cube all around, and then we don't want surface here, so we can click here, put disconnect. We need a volume, and we can put principal volume. So now it looks like this. It creates a little smoke, little volume. Density, when we put less, when we put at 0, for example, there is no volume, there is nothing. If you put it at 0.1, it is a little bit, and if you put it more, there is more volume. So we need at 0.1 to create this effect, and when the light from the sun is gonna go inside, we are going to see it. So we go in the camera, and now you can see little light. If you want to put more to see the rays even more, you can put more density, 0.2, but the scene is going to be darker. What we can do, click on the sun and put more strength to put more light at 30, for example. And the rays are going to be more intense. If we put at 40, I'm going to see it a lot more. Now also, what we can do is, if you want, you can add a HDRI for outside. If you want, so you can go in World Properties, Color, Environment Texture, and then Open. Then you can download HDRI from all of the website I have in my resources. So you have the link in the description if you want to access all of my websites. So I'm going to put the Abandoned Slipway in 4K, open image. And now there is light coming from outside. If I hide the sun here, there is a little light from my HDRI. So I put the sun back here. And also, what you need to do, object data properties of the sun, you can use nodes here and change the color, black body, and black body is going to use Kelvin temperature. So you can put, for example, 5300, and it's going to put a little yellow color that is very natural, and it's not just white, pure white, like this. So now my scene looks like this. I can rotate the sun a little bit more, for example, going on the column here and still in the water, like this. And then once it is done, to do the render, I'm just gonna put render here to 50 max samples. And also what you can do is in look, this is like this, it was like this but I changed it. You can put look high contrast to add contrast, and if you want more exposure, is if it is a little too dark, you can put more exposure like this or less. I'm gonna put 0.5 for example. Gamma you can put 0.9 if you want, like this. You can do the render and render image, and I already did one. It looks like this. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you want to download all of my resources with all the websites I use to download textures, HDRI, 3D models, and everything, you have the link in the description. You can also join my newsletter to receive tools, tips, and everything. So you have all of the link in the description.